Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my January bullet journal setup and I'm really excited about this. The more I do it, the more comfortable I'm getting with it, and I'm also learning new techniques of drawing and artistry that I wasn't as familiar with before. So for my January cover page, I wanted to do something wintry, but not like Christmassy. So I went with kind of a snowy mountain theme with trees and a full moon. And I had a lot of fun doing this because I didn't use paint. I just used a fine liner, and then I used a gray Ecoline brush pen to fill in some of the shaded areas. So I really liked the way this one turned out. So here I am drawing in the trees. I wanted to do pine trees, but I wanted to keep them kind of loose. So I took a brush pen and basically just kind of did a fir tree kind of shape. I didn't worry about it looking perfect, and I didn't worry about filling in all the little gaps or making them all uniform in size and shape. I wanted a variety. So in the front ground I put in dark trees, and then later on a little bit I go in with a lighter marker and do some lighter trees in the background to represent the field of depth, the depth of field, whatever you call it. So I actually really like how this turned out. It's simple. I got the inspiration for it from Pinterest. I saw someone else's journal that had a similar image, and so I decided to try it out for myself. And it's not exact, but it doesn't have to be exact. Somebody on my bullet journal group today asked the group if you take ideas from someone else and you kind of make them your own, if she should be ashamed of that, because she said that she's not a very creative person. She enjoys doing art, but that herself, she doesn't really come up with all these ideas, and she just kind of takes what other people does and reproduces it herself. And she said that she struggles to enjoy it when she does that because she feels guilty, like she's stealing from someone else. And in my opinion, a bullet journal is for you. It's not for other people. So, if you borrow someone else's layout or someone else's theme, you're still putting your own spin on it. Like, it's not going to be an exact reproduction. And I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of for that. I think it's a compliment to the original artist. And again, it's for you. It's your journal, and you're the one who has to enjoy it. So I don't think that you should really worry about copying someone else, because you're the one who has to live with this journal and use it and enjoy it. So I say you do you. But anyways, so I did the moon here. I enjoyed how I did it. I've done the moon with watercolor before. It was a little bit different going with marker, especially because you can't really blend. But I filled it in with gray, and then I took my gold pen and I dabbed a little bit of the ink on my finger, and then I kind of rubbed it over the moon in places to give it a little bit of shine and texture. And in the end, I really like how it turned out. I also went in with my white Signo my white signal pen and put in some highlights and just kind of tweaked it a little bit, but I like how it turned out. I think it's nice. So for this page, it's my January calendar, and I wanted to keep up with the wintry theme. So I used the silver Faber-Castell pen, and then I also went in with a blue fine liner on January when I filled in the word January. And then I used some really nice washi tape that I got off of Amazon. It's a really pretty kind of wintry tree theme, and I used the same washi tape later on in the journal as well, or rather the same line of washi tape, just a little bit of a different pattern, and I think it's really beautiful. And then since I'm learning Romanian because I live in Romania now, I decided to go ahead and put in the days of the week in Romanian, so you'll see that as well. So originally I wrote in Romanian underneath the English word January. I wrote the Romanian word for January, which is January, and I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like my handwriting, so I decided rather than try to white it out with my white pen to just cover it up with some washi tape. And this is where that pine tree themed washi tape comes in, and I actually really like the way it turned out. I think it's nice. I really wish I hadn't highlighted over the days of the week, just because those particular fine liners tend to smudge, and I should have done a pen test before I used them. But overall, I mean, it's okay. It doesn't smudge too much, but to me it's noticeable and it bothers me, so I kind of wish I had just left it plain and hadn't bothered with the highlighting. So for this next spread is for the weekly days of the week for January, and you can see I went with a snowflake theme, but instead of drawing snowflakes on every single page and a header on every single page, I decided it would be easier if I kept the header and just did a Dutch door style of weekly. So you can see that I went ahead and just did the design for the top to start with, and then after that I went in and I cut the top right off of each page and set it up as a Dutch door, and I actually really like how it turned out. But I had already drawn the snowflakes on the first page on the right, so instead of redoing those on the final page of the journal of the weekly setup, I went ahead and just glued it down, so it still works and functions like a Dutch door. I feel like I cheated a tiny bit, but I really didn't want to redraw all of those snowflakes because they were pretty intricate. But I think they turned out really nice, and overall I'm pretty happy with this. It is my first weekly spread for my journal, and it's definitely a learning experience, so enjoy. So here is where I was talking about where I put in the Dutch doors for my weekly calendar, and I really like how it turned out. And here you can see I was celebrating January 20th, the inauguration of Joe Biden as the 46th US president. So happy Inauguration Day! And then this next spread is my cleaning tracker to help me get more organized with my cleaning, because I'm sorely lacking on that. I really need to get used to having a schedule where I do the dishes every day, sweep every day at least, wipe down the counters every day. Right now, we do the dishes when we cook, so we mostly keep it clean in the kitchen, but sometimes the dishes kind of pile up. And I think it would be a good habit to get into for doing the dishes at least every single day. And pretty much, that's it with this spread. It's fairly simple and straightforward. I have it broken down into daily chores, weekly chores, and then bi-weekly chores. So things that I should do every 2 weeks, such as washing the bed linens, cleaning the shower and the bathroom, things like that. So it's more of a functional spread than an artistic spread. So here I'm starting on my monthly financial spread. Again, it's just another functional spread, so I didn't want too much artistic stuff to get in the way. I really wanted to focus on keeping track of our bank balances, our income, our expenses, things like that. So I think this is a pretty good layout for finances. I'm going to give it a month or two and see how it works for us, and then see if there's anything I should tweak. I come from an accounting background, so I think I went with something that I felt would be functional for me, if not functional for anybody else. I think what's important is that it works for me. So we'll see. I did the same spread for February, so we'll see how it works out. And mostly it's just using the fine liner and a couple of colored pens, like the silver one for the title, and then the colored fine liners to fill things in. But again, I wasn't going for super artistic. I was just going for functional. But ultimately, I like the way it turned out. So this next spread is my social media spread where I put my trackers for social media. And this particular spread and then the next one, which is my language learning spread, do not keep with my January theme, but I think it's okay because of the types of spreads that they are. I wanted them to kind of have their own theme. So for my social media trackers, I just did a space where I can write down YouTube video ideas and Instagram photo ideas, any notes or comments or thoughts that I might have for those things. I have a space to keep track of my metrics for social media, like how often I post, how often I upload videos, if I do it on a weekly or a daily basis. And then for YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch, my subscribers and followers, my view count, and all of that. I'm trying not to obsess over it just because I'm trying to do this for fun and I really don't want to get caught up in the numbers game. I really don't want that to be a stress in my life. So, I get really excited when I see that I've gotten one more subscriber or one more follower. Like, it's super exciting for me, and I go and I tell my husband, baby, I got another follower, and it's a lot of fun. So for me, I have 19 subscribers right now, and I'm actually pretty excited about that. So I take it one day at a time with this. And especially since I took about 2 months off, I know that I'm not really doing the same things as I was doing before, which was a lot of video game streams. I really wanted to try something different. I'll probably still do some of that, but for now I don't want that to be the focus of my channel. So that's why I'm trying this bullet journal stuff. And on this page, which is my Twitch page, I just did a calendar for my streaming schedule. And then I made my own little Twitch logo. So I looked up the logo, sketched it out, and then I aligned it with a black fine liner, colored it in, and then I used purple watercolors for the background. And I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I think it's nice. So this is the language spread that I mentioned earlier. Because I moved to Romania, I think it's a primary focus for me to learn the language. And for anybody who doesn't know, Romanian is a Romance language. It is not a Slavic or Germanic or anything like that. It's a beautiful language, so you should definitely check it out if you've never heard it before. I really love it, and It's just kind of a difficult language to learn. It's sort of a combination of like Italian and French and Spanish, but it's also got a flavor of its own. Like it's actually the closest to Latin, and it's just a really interesting language. So if you're interested in learning another language, you should definitely check it out. But for me, being in a country where Romanian is the primary language, it's important to me to start really putting in the effort to learn it. So that's where I'm at currently. I have Duolingo as an app, and I want to work on it every single day. My husband is Romanian, so, but he's also fluent in English. And I think that's something that would be different is if he didn't know English very well. And so I was really forced to learn Romanian, but because we speak English at home, I haven't really had to really put in the effort to learn it. But I think it's definitely time for me to be able to say more than just a couple of words. But anyways, all of that aside, this is a pretty straightforward and functional spread. I wanted it to be kind of cute and also to pay tribute a little bit to Romania. So their flag colors are blue, yellow, and red. And so this spread, instead of keeping with January's theme of cold winter, I decided to make it in the colors of Romania, and I think it turned out cute and I like it. So that is it for my January setup. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions about any of the supplies I used, feel free to drop a comment below and I will answer. I have February's journal coming up soon, so keep an eye out for that. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.